Testing.
Say
Testing.
something, I don't know, what's your hobby?
I like reading.
Yes. Favorite book? All right, hi everyone. I'm Alan's son, and I'm here with my friend Nneze. And Nneze, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Nneze Akubuilo. I currently go to UCSD, and I'm happy to be here.
And you're an RA?
And I'm an RA at UCSD as well, in New Six College.
Well, I'm here with Nneze talking about family and Gen Z. I just wanted to know for you, like, what does family mean to you?
Right. I think family, like, personally, my family defines me. I feel like my family gives me a role and gives me a purpose, which is something that I appreciate in my life. Like, I could do 1,000,001 things in life, but at the end of the day, like, I'm my parents' daughter, and I'm my sibling's sister, and I'm my grandparents' granddaughter. Like, that's something that I really appreciate and kind of gives me a way to ground myself as I move throughout, like, my own path. So I feel like family not only gives me that place to come back to, but like it's kind of like a default for like anything that I've got going on. Like, this is something that will always be here.
I think about the closeness of family. Maybe can you share a little bit about, like, how would you describe how close your family is, and is there something, maybe like, is there like your cultural background that kind of connects that or makes that also valuable?
I would say like my immediate family is very close. Like, my parents are definitely the kind to like call their college kids every day, like clockwork. So yeah, we're really close. I talk to my sister, like, gotta check on my brothers, and my extended family is also like extremely close. Like, we're the people on the block that have the Christmas party with like 100 people, and it's like cousins of cousins of cousins are there, and I feel like that's a dynamic that I really appreciate, and I feel like has translated to the way that I walk life. Like, often people like comment on how I feel like I can get along really well with people that I meet, and I feel like that's a dynamic that was instilled in me from having like this huge family and like so many different personalities. Like, I am not like any of my cousins. I'm not even like my twin sister. And I feel like we still get to have that really close bond just like in us being related.
So Gen Z is very vocal about mental health in their classrooms, with their friends, in friend circles, and I just wanted to ask, do you feel like that translates with family though, right? Having conversations about mental health, how is that?
I go to UCSD. I have a pretty challenging major. Like, I work an RA job. Like, I've had my own struggles with mental health. So like, I would say that that's a topic that's come up in my social circles, in my school life, and that I'm very comfortable talking about. In my home life and family life, I would say like culturally, I belong to a community that already kind of stigmatizes mental health. But my family, like, we're Nigerian, and like our community, especially like on the continent, is very like when something is out of control, they definitely like turn to the Lord spiritually, which is super helpful, and I do think helps, but I think sometimes they don't feel like they have the agency to talk about it because like not only is it taboo but unfixable. Sure. So I feel like I've never really, not that I know I could mention it, but I feel like if I were to mention it or talk about it at length, like my family kind of like defaults to like, well, we have to like pray about it. There's nothing else we can do. Like, we shouldn't talk about it anymore. Just like, let's, when I know that they mean well, like, it definitely doesn't come from a malicious state. Like, I kind of wish that like I could name it and face it with God by my side, rather than like kind of bottle it and then be like, hopefully they'll deal with it. But I think their approach makes sense given like the way that they were raised and like the environment that they lived in, because in certain parts of Africa, like in certain African countries, like the healthcare isn't even like as it would be in America. So like, when God is all you have, like that's where you go to. I completely get it. Naming it and also using the tools that like God has offered as well is something that's super helpful.
That's valuable, especially at the end when you're saying I like to talk about it more and talk about it more with them. And I think that because it's such a high value for Gen Z to talk about mental health, there's a place where family, either coming from a cultural background or from a perspective of honor and shame, that it's like, how can we be courageous and talk about mental health in our family circles, and so that it can be helpful. That we can get better in a lot of ways too. I had a question about, COVID, pandemic. We had a huge lockdown.
Yeah.
Everyone was either at home. Do you think, maybe for yourself or maybe for your community, as you think about spending time with family, do you think it's like, I'm okay with more time now, or I want less time with my family post pandemic lockdown?
I don't know. It's kind of, for me, it's like both. It's a very like push and pull emotion. If you had asked freshman me, I went home winter quarter. I had like half of a college school year, and then it was like, you're going home and you're now a college student from home. So I feel like at that part, like, I was there from January, and then I didn't move back till September.
Yeah,
literally 9 months of me being around every sibling and my parents. No, I was itching to get out. Like, I was counting down the days. I was like, please let me out. I will do anything to leave. And now that I've been, I've lived on campus for now a year and some change. And I've still been in isolation, but I've been on campus. I feel like that has also been super lonely. And I'm like, dang, I kind of miss the hustle and bustle of like my little brother coming home, or like my parents cooking dinner or something like that. Like, now it's just me, and that's kind of sad. I would say that it really depends, because campus is packed. Like, we all either have amped up classes to some sort of extent, like going to in-person class. I feel like I'm definitely feeling a little more homesick than I was freshman year, where I was like, please get me out of here.
It's such a unique season coming out of the pandemic and lockdown, but then to think about your generation and think, how have they been affected in terms of relationship with families? And obviously there's a lot of different family structures, family backgrounds, cultures that mix into all this, but it seems like there's a strong connection with family is healthy, but then also trying to press into conversations with family could help even more.
Right.
And I don't know, I just have a lot of hope, I think, for your generation, and I wonder what family structures would look like for you in the future. Maybe as a bonus question to think of, Nneze doesn't know this, but would you think about you starting, would you want to do a career first in the family, or would you want family first, or where do you feel that?
I don't know. I feel like I've thought about this a lot recently. I'm pre-med. So as of right now, I'm still pre-med. And that's a really long journey.
It's a long battle.
Most people that are pre-med, it's like there's that thing where it's like it's never really like a good time. But it's like you don't want to, that's 12 years at least. And like I plan to take gap years. So like it's going to be a whole thing. And it's like, do I really want to like not be without family for that amount of time? Like, how long do I want to put off life for a career? But it's also like, when you worked really hard for something, like I know my blood, sweat, and tears are going into this degree. It's like, do I really want to like put off seeing my success come to fruition? It's a huge question. I don't really know.
You don't know.
I don't know, but like I know that I want both desperately. I want to eat my cake and have it too. I have to think about that.
That's good.
Very deeply.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Well, thank you for your time, Nneze. Enjoyed it. So.
Thank you so much, Alan.